John in West Chicago, Illinois. Hey, John, what's up? Thanks for listening to CPT. What's up?
Hi, Tom. I actually called about the National Review article declaring Bernie, essentially calling him a Nazi. It really kind of got to me.
Yeah, they did call him a Nazi. They called him a National Socialist.
Right.
That's what Nazi is short for.
Right. And the quote that just, which you kind of read, he is, in fact, leading a National Socialist movement, which is a queasy and uncomfortable thing to write about a man who is the son of Jewish immigrants from Poland and whose family was murdered in the Holocaust.
Right.
But there is no other way to characterize his views and his politics. This whole article is just dripping with derision and misrepresentation.
It also betrays
these are the thought leaders on the right.
Yeah. It also betrays a profound ignorance. I mean, the author of this article is clearly either it's, as I said, it's either satire, it's either tongue in cheek, and he's going to come out in the next day or two and say, I was just punking y'all, or this guy really doesn't understand what the Nazis were and what National Socialism was. And he also doesn't understand what democratic socialism is. He's, if he'd ever been outside of the United States, if he'd ever been in Northern Europe in the democratic... Go ahead.
Well, he does say how essentially that he refers to the Western European welfare states, and particularly the Scandinavian states. And the reason that works is because they have cultural and ethnic hope I'm saying homogeneity.
Yeah, homogeneity. But actually, in fact, they don't. I mean, increasingly, although it's causing a certain amount of nationalism in those countries, there is a rise in Nazi-like parties in the Northern European countries that seems to parallel the rise of dark-skinned immigrants coming into those countries. But that's a whole separate issue, and obviously Bernie's not on that side.
Well, obviously, but this is just so far off the rails. It's like this man live in another dimension.
No, it's like the Swift Boat veterans attacks. If you take somebody's strongest card, as it were, and Bernie's strongest card is that he's a democratic socialist, is that that he is calling for government to be on the side of the little guy rather than government being on the side of the billionaires. And if you take their strongest card and use it to attack them, as they did with John Kerry, sometimes it works, even though it's outrageous. It's a classic variation on the big lie strategy. If you're going to tell a big lie, tell it such an outrageous lie that people say, "Oh, well, he couldn't possibly say that if it wasn't true." And sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. I don't think this one is going to stick, but nice try, National Review. What it's telling us, John, is that these guys are suddenly taking Bernie seriously. That the billionaire class and their shills at the National Review, and that's what the National Review is. It's a right-wing rag that is another shill organ for the billionaire class, the right-wing billionaire class in the United States. Because there are some good progressive billionaires, but for the right-wing billionaire class, it is it's saying that, hey, we've noticed Bernie, we're taking him seriously, and we're going to try and take him down. I'm seeing the same thing over at Crooks and Liars. There's a piece, the NRA helped Bernie get elected. Well, Bernie's represented a state in which there are no gun control laws. Do you think that he's going to be, pushing for gun control at the federal level when he represents Vermont? Probably not, although he has supported things like the assault weapon ban and whatnot. But and he's got a D with the NRA. But it's just this that is an attack, I think, the one that's over at Crooks and Liars coming out of the Clinton camp, I'm guessing. This is one coming out of the right wing. In other words, both the Democratic and the Republican Party have now noticed Bernie, and now they are starting systematically, thoughtfully, step by step, they're starting to attack him. And that, in my mind, is a good thing. That means that he's actually getting some traction. John, I got to move along.